actually about block space instead of ordinals. And it's basically, Bitcoin is divided into blocks, and each block has 4 megabytes, so each block has space. So you can measure space in megabytes, kilobytes. So, how do I do this?
Do you want to switch the, okay, where are we going? Here?
Tab, yeah. Yeah, you can go to ordinals.com. Yeah.
Sure.
So my journey in block space started with ordinals. When my friend told me I need to look into ordinals. So basically, it's a way to categorize all the rare sets and give each one a number. So you can go to your wallet and see which numbers of the satoshis you have. And they're numbered from 1 all the way to 2.1 quadrillion. You guys know how much Bitcoin the total supply is? 21 million. Who knows how many sats are in 1 Bitcoin? Anybody? 100 million. So how many total sats are there in Bitcoin? 100 million times 21 million. Can anyone do that math?
2.14 million.
Yeah, it's 2.1 quadrillion. He only knows because he works for me. So if you click on like one of these random inscriptions here, these are all inscriptions. What does this say? Somebody put a tweet. Anyways, so what is this? We can see this is a JPEG. It's about 87,000 bytes or 87 kilobytes, and it's on this set number. So the important thing is you have a SAT number in your wallet, you have some Bitcoin in your wallet, and then you attach a JPEG onto a SAT number. The JPEG goes onto Bitcoin on chain. So we can look at the blockchain explorer here.
Now, I'm glad Antoine is the first one because I can like say Antoine. I just forgot to say that we only have 5 minutes for presentations, and I told everyone. So let's try to stick to that.
Yeah, just want to show everyone this one thing. So this is an illustration of how much block space this JPEG takes up, right? So it's 87 kilobytes, and basically, when you put in a file on Bitcoin, it takes up block space. So, when you measure the block space in like terms of kilobytes, the way I'm looking at it is it's actually a valuable, scarce asset. There's only so many kilobytes that exist on Bitcoin in the form of, well, total is like Bitcoin is like 650 gigabytes. So if you own like an asset that's 1 megabyte, then that would be like 1/650,000 of the entire Bitcoin blockchain. That sounds like a tiny fraction, but when you consider Bitcoin is like, what's like $2.5 trillion right now, divided by 650,000. It's actually quite substantial. But all good, I'll just put it like that. Essentially, by uploading JPEGs to Bitcoin, you can create a type of asset that's digitally extremely scarce, and the scarcity is enforced by the rules of Bitcoin. Just in the same way that the scarcity of Bitcoin is enforced by the rules of Bitcoin. Nobody can break them. The rules of Bitcoin also dictate how much block space is available. So it's actually just like, it has all the same properties of Bitcoin. These block space assets, you can send it, you can trade it, you can send it across borders, you can just send it for a small Bitcoin transaction fee. It has all the exact same properties of what makes Bitcoin useful. It's just a different asset that nobody finds valuable right now, but because it does all the same thing Bitcoin does, and the scarcity is enforced by the same rules, it's just different rules. I can explain, like, there's 21 million Bitcoin, but block space is limited by time. There's only like one block every 10 minutes, right? So you can get infinite block space with infinite time, but only finite block space with finite time. So you only get 4 megabytes every 10 minutes. So given a finite period of time, it's a finite amount of block space. So right now you can fill an entire block for about $300 or something like that. It's just extraordinarily cheap. Other times it would have cost you like, instead of $300, it cost you like $200,000 or something, or I think the peak was that it would cost 20 Bitcoin to fill an entire block. If you go all the way to about a year ago when there was like a minting frenzy. So that's literally 6,000 times higher than where we are today. So given that we've seen these fluctuations, I think it's a very good idea to mint, just any file you want. The bigger the better, and it'll just be like a block space asset. I call them block space tokens, and there'll be very scarce supply of these if you measure it in megabytes, right? It's measured in megabytes, and yeah. What do you want to ask?
Okay, so in Q&A,
yeah, Q&A is good.
Good place to pause. 5 minutes. And
all you have to do is go to one of the minting websites like scribeit.io or Ordinals Bots or unisat.io and just pay a transaction fee, upload your file. That's all you have to do. Yeah.
So can I sell this space afterwards, and how will that be useful?
Yeah, there's marketplaces right now, but because people don't recognize these assets very easily outside of specific collections, it's kind of hard to sell it right now. It's easier to sell like block space tokens, like uncommon goods. So you can sell those immediately after you mint them. But just like random images, kind of hard right now, but I believe in the future you'll be able to. Yeah. Yes.
Do you want to go over quickly what sat hunting is for people that may be interested in finding out if they have Bitcoin, if they might have?
Yeah, those are rare sats. I just want to talk about block space now, but yeah.
So no. Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
I understand the finiteness of it and the scarcity
Yeah.
of it. But could you wildly speculate in the future? I know we still have early days, but how owning this may come up with some wild idea of how this could become more valuable.
How it's valuable?
Well, given its finiteness, I understand.
Yeah.
It's a real estate route now, but
Well, it's finiteness, and like Bitcoin is useful because you can send it to people, and it's like it's internet money that can just be sent to anyone else on the internet.
But is there any chatter now about like in the future where the development of Bitcoin is going and what the space could eventually be utilized for?
Well, anything you put on Bitcoin cannot be changed, right? So when you hold it, it's like done. So you can't actually use it other than just to show it off or to just send it. But I think that there'll be a market for these things because when the transaction fees go up and it's hard to create new ones, people are going to be like, oh, I'm just going to try to buy the existing ones in the marketplace, no matter what it is.
No utility.
There's no direct
Okay,
utility.
we have another question. You guys can network afterwards and find out more.
Last
Last question.
It's not a question, but just to add, like to get the value in the future, just imagine you can mint your NFT collection in Ethereum right now, and it's going to cost you very cheap, right? But let's say you mint your NFTs on block space. The reason it's going to be valuable in the future is because your NFT collection on block space is going to be much more expensive to mint in the future. So
On
if you have-
chain, yeah.
on chain.
Yeah.
So the real estate, Anton uses block space as valuable. I don't think so. I've had a long chat with him. It's not the space, it's the tokens inside the space. In the future, there will be less token block space assets in the future. So if you mint something now, like let's say Toronto DAO puts their manifesto on block space, it'll be so much harder for it to do it in the future. It's become rare. It becomes rare in the future, and it's do it now, and you'll be one of the few assets in block space.
Fascinating, fascinating. We have more questions. Let's save them for the end of our presentations. The whole thing about this, we're trying to rapid fire it. I personally have a short attention span. But first of all, let's give a round of applause for Antoine. Thank you so much. And
All right, guys. So I see some familiar faces from yesterday, but I'm going to be presenting Questy again. All right. So what is Questy? So it's the engagement and retention layer of the internet. What does that mean? So we're basically building a no-code white label engagement platform that helps Web3 startups retain users and grow their communities through interactive quests. So how many of you are builders here? All of you. Sweet. How many of you tried doing marketing? How many of you love doing marketing? There you go. We got one or two people there. So what happens is that I've had my ideas, all that. You go on the internet, you try to get users, all that. It's easy to get users, but it becomes really hard to retain them. And the tools out there in the Web3 ecosystem, I don't think they're sufficient right now. So what we've basically done is we've developed this white label quest platform. I'm gonna just pull up the website, maybe. Am I able to go on Chrome? Yeah. Is that easier, or? Because I feel like everyone here knows about quests and everything. So we white labeled it for this project. What happens is you come in, you enter your address in this is internal beta tool we have. You paste in your website, and our AI goes, picks up all your theme, everything, and puts out a website that a quest platform that connects to your X account for now, and then you can get your community to basically post about your project, and then our tool, our dashboard, is something the project owner has where they can monitor all this activity with verification. So you don't have to go look at each profile, scroll, see if they've done something, what's the quality of the content, all that. It all comes in within the platform that we're giving out right now. And right now it's working with X. And you can tell that it's completely white labeled. They can change the URL however they want to. And our goal, right now our setup takes about a day, but our goal is to get the setup up and running for projects in 5 minutes, and they can do it all themselves without requiring any code. So I think that's, yeah, you can go to that's essentially the entire idea. Lots of projects here. I'm pretty sure you've run into issues where you went on Galaxy, TaskOn, all those kind of websites. They require a lot of subscription fees, blah, 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 all that jazz. So like, I'll take questions.
very timely.
Sorry.
Good job. First of all, round of applause for the presentation. All right. You can have 4 minutes for questions since you ended earlier. So let's.
And also, whenever I do these presentations, I don't want you guys to be nice to me about the questions. I'm not gonna get hurt if you're mean about it or anything.
Really?
I want the actual questions. What you think sucks about it. I want to leave here crying. Like I wanna get all the bad parts out.
You suck.
That we have. Yeah, like, maybe not that, but actual like you don't like the name. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I also create something like a quest for my project, right? So basically, I allow the ex-users sign in and try to get some airdrop for my project. But it's like I see a lot of spam users, fake ones. Maybe a lot of people have all from Indonesia, somewhere. I'm not saying that Indonesia is bad, fancy place, but how X don't ban those users for me, fake users.
Okay.
Does your project provide some service like this?
So what we do is we verify their X account. So I'm not sure if you're verifying their X account.
There are a lot of fake users.
Are you able to verify their X account and see?
You have to log in with X.
You have login with X.
Yeah,
Okay.
login with-
So what for us, what it basically does is you have to log in with X. You have to verify your email address, and then also someone else can because it's white label and no code. You can basically go in and move things around. So for us, we have phone verification in there as well.
Okay.
So if someone's not doing the phone verification, they can't move forward with the request, right? And I don't know how long it took you to develop something that was useful, but when we started looking into it, it was taking us a while to go through the X platform.
I spent 1 week.
You spent 1 week?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we were doing Telegram, it was taking us a while. When we were looking at the X API limits, it was taking us more than a week when we were trying to verify them. So what we're trying to do is make one holistic platform that people can come in and basically white label for their projects. Any other questions?
Come on, folks. Let's try to help you out. We have a question right there.
Can I ask you a question that you probably have heard in some of the meetings you've done?
Sure.
How is this better than Galaxy?
So one, we're hoping that our subscription fees are much more affordable. Second, people go on Galaxy to farm these points and get these rewards. Whereas our goal is that if you have a project and you have those fans within your project, you're able to get those people identified and basically reward those people. So we're more of a retention tool rather than an acquisition tool. Whereas these Galaxy Talk, Task On, these kind of tools, a lot of people use them for their initial acquisition, but once their reward
So do
is,
you work with my product's internal analytics?
we will provide analytics, and then you'll we hope to have a better analytics suite developed than what some projects would be developing internally. But we can talk about that. Yeah.
All right, one more question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like based on this presentation, I didn't fully understand what exactly this platform does. Maybe if it was someone who is already familiar with this problem, but just for me, I'm just not familiar maybe with the problem itself. That's why I couldn't fully understand what it does exactly. Could you please summarize it again, somehow in 2 sentences, what it does exactly?
So basically, you're able to connect your. So are you a developer?
Yes.
Right. So let's say you made a project and whatnot.
Yes.
Now you're looking at ways of, you have this platform, you're looking at ways on how you can retain your users that you're spending a lot of money on marketing and bringing them in. So a lot of projects will go on Galaxy, Task On, all that, and they'll give you what I would call vanity figures. Like whenever you're doing that campaign, people will come in. But the second you're done with that, people will leave. And these might not have been the users you wanted, right? But now some people have been retained who actually like your product. How do you make sure these people stay in there? So what we're doing is we're developing the base layer for how projects can develop those tools, basically using our no-code feature to basically do that much faster.
Okay, time. Round of applause for Husnain. Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
Hi there, everybody. Some of you guys know me. I'm Lisan on the internet. I go by Edward in real life. I'm CEO and co-founder at Sacred Protocol. And what we're doing is allowing folks on social media, audiences, and creators to tip each other, no matter what social media platform you are on. So I am going to go to the next one. Next slide. Yeah. So our mission is to build a very easy to use user experience. Tip in any currency. Right now we're able to tip in Solana and USDC, but in the background we want to unlock Polkadot and EVM assets in the future, and we want to also work with DeFi. So folks don't necessarily want to. We don't want folks to necessarily leave the platform. So incorporating DeFi is a way to do that. And I'm going to go forward.
I'm clicking for you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, thanks. So in the space of tipping, right, goodwill is a sacred experience, but it's undermined by payment friction. Have you ever seen or gone through this experience where you want to tip someone in real life? Oh, okay. You want to tip someone in real life, but it takes so long to get your wallet out of your bag, right?
you just drop the idea of tipping the person altogether. Now imagine this thing in this moment where you want to tip someone for content that they made, but you cannot get your wallet set up. You give up very easily. It's much worse in Web3. I'm going to go down. So 80%. 80% of transactions on Web3 are, 80% of transactions on Web3, nobody tries it again after the first attempt. 80% of countries around the world are geo-blocked. So if you're seeing content from let's say Nigeria, you cannot tip content in the UK. So what does it also mean? If someone like Mr. Beast has 10 million followers, only 200,000 of them can tip him, right? Or 2 million of them can tip him. Another thing that we notice is that these platforms charge around 30 to 50% in fees, on top of the fact that they are not everywhere on the planet. And what we're trying to build is an interoperable tipping mechanism where you can tip crypto to any creator if you have the Sacred Extension app. But you don't, here's the thing, you don't need that person to know crypto. You don't need that person to have a Sacred wallet. Just tip their social account, right? That's what we're unlocking. So here's a very quick demo of it working. Simon, can I get your help just pressing play? Oh, so the audio is not working, but here's Twitter working right now. I'm on a post. I turn on my extension. I go to tip. The post is listed over there. I set up $2 to tip, and there you go. The tip is sent to that Twitter profile. All I need to do is share that profile to Gavin, and he has it. And the thing is, it's social tipping. Make the tipping link and expose it on the chat as a response. People will see that you tipped them, and all you need to do to redeem the tip is prove that you own the Twitter account and send to any wallet you want. There's no connect wallet button at all with Sacred. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we're live on the Chrome store, so if you want to test it out, search Sacred Protocol on Chrome Web Store. Just moving quickly. Oh shit, so this is, we're recording a lot of things in the background to make things easy to work. Yeah, 100% of the tip goes to the recipient when this is the long-term goal that we want to go for. We do charge 10% on the way out. Now's the time to build it because there's a lot of technologies that make things work. The market is huge. We allow revoke and decline. If you made a mistake on tipping, you can take it back. And then this is the progress so far. We've done a lot of integrations with live streams. And we did a Super Team Earn campaign. And I want to finish it with just playing that button.
Ever feel like
Oh,
your
you might
support is
expand.
limited by borders? For most creators, 80% of their global audience cannot easily send a tip. Sacred Protocol changes that. Now, anyone from anywhere can tip you for any
Live
piece of
streams.
content you create.
Animates the overlay.
A tweet, a video, even
You
a
can
single
tip
post.
YouTube.
This isn't about switching. It's a new tool that works with how you already earn, alongside your subs, your ads,
You don't need
and
to
your
change
revenues.
how you get paid
Best
as
of all,
a
claiming
creator.
your money is easy.
Nice.
Simply
Yeah.
log in through a secure page to verify you own the account.
And there you go. The reason I want to highlight this video
Tipping
is
the way it was always meant to be.
this was made by a creator who was participating in our campaign. We saw this video that this person made. He saw the comments. We tipped him. He made this video for us, and we were astounded by the quality of it. So when you show people that you appreciate their work and do it in real time, other people see it. It can do magic.
Okay, time. Let's do Q&A. Q&A. Well, first of all, let's clap. Now let's roast this motherfucker.
Yeah, really, it's okay. Sir.
So it's USDC only?
USDC, Solana, and then when we unlock Polkadot, it'll be DOT and USDC. And yeah, we want to keep the coins like curated, but sky's the limit, really.
And is there a minimum, like 1 cent?
There's a minimum, which is 60 cents. Yeah, but maximum is 100 cents because we want to. We're not audited yet, so if we do get some damage, we want to limit that.
That's a really cool project. So my question is, one token.
We want to prove that this mechanism can make money with a 10% fee, and when we have that 10% fee money-making machine, build it and wrap a token around that. But token economics, more on that later.
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
Make money first, guys, then tokenize. Don't start with tokenization.
Great question.
Yeah, quick one. So we built something like this on another platform, and we found one of the biggest things was actually creators were not picking up their tips. What
Yes.
are you doing with unclaimed tips? How do you handle it?
Assuming the person didn't pick up your tip, just press the revoke button.
So
Take
it
it
just
back.
stays in purgatory?
No. You on the extension.
Yeah.
You can list all. You can see all the tips that you've made. Right. After upon 24 hours after you made the tip,
Yeah.
you have the choice as a tipper to take it back if you made a mistake.
So just pending transaction that hasn't been fully broadcast?
Yes, no. It's when you send a tip to someone, it's an escrow until they receive it.
Right.
Yeah, and then when it's in escrow state. Huh?
So it just stays there, like assuming they never interact with it, you don't necessarily, you're not watching it, it's just hanging out.
Hanging out there, yeah. We can make it earn yield while it's there, right? But that's a future talk. But either party, tipper or receiver, can take it back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any more questions? All right, round of applause for Lisan. Jerry, are you here? We have the next guy here, Jerry, with Bitcoin dominance. And it looks like this microphone's finally working, so I'm gonna give it to you, and we'll give you a clicker. Here you go. Press down to go further. You have 5 minutes. I'll stop you right away once it's 5 minutes.
Cool. Everyone can hear me well? Cool, awesome. So yeah, I'm talking about something called.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm talking about something called Bitcoin covenants. This is a fairly new, well, not exactly new. It's been proposed since 2016, but its implementation is fairly new. It's basically a different way of securing these funds rather than just rely on the public and private key pairs and whatnot. And there's a lot of I should probably change that because there's a lot of different applications. People are building things on it. So I just want to go through a quick introduction about this. So covenants basically they're just like different rules on how the coins are to move. I've commonly described it as something like a programmable check, where if it says, for example, 10 bitcoins to Samir, even if the government seizes the money or if your keys get compromised, the only person they can send it to is Samir, and they have to send it for however much coins and whatnot. This provides a much safer custodial model. In that, again, right now, most of these companies, they're relying on these fancy multi-sigs where you have multiple parties signing it. And even though it's supposed to be secure, it's industry standards, you still have exchanges getting hacked all the time for some unexplainable reason. So again, covenants good for wallets, good for exchanges, what are other treasuries and other apps, so on and so forth. I kind of just mentioned it already. Keys are brittle. It's basically all or nothing. If it gets compromised, that's basically it. You're essentially just dealing with a blank check at that point, right? A lot of the exploits, and so just quickly again going through things. Covenants, they provide the policies, not just the signatures. You're able to do a lot of limits on how the funds are to be spent. So you can have whitelists, you can have tokens on there, token control movements, so on and so forth, right? So the status of Bitcoin, covenants on Bitcoin, it's a little bit messy, unfortunately. There's everyone and their mothers trying to make proposals, and no one can come up with a way to agree on any of this stuff. That's not also to factor in any of this derailment from all this arbitrary and arbitrary data. I won't get too much into it, but as you guys can see, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of interest, but there's no consensus so far, so they have no idea how to implement that. Luckily, there's another Bitcoin fork called Bitcoin Cash. It's deployed in 2022. A whole bunch of VMs, blah, 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 and it's accepted in here. Essentially, this is the only technical slide, but this slide just shows all the different fields of the transaction that you're able to control. So you're able to show, lock in how much money you want to send in, to which addresses you want to send to. You can even control which money can go in, or when they're going in, which ones could be spent at those points, right? Won't be too into this. The next few slides are just basically examples of various different applications and platforms that are currently using these kind of covenants. The first one is called fundme.cash. It's a crowdfunding platform where all the funds are locked into these kind of covenants. Anyone can essentially set them up, and essentially it's if you hit the target, then the person can claim the campaign as success. If not, and after a certain time expiration, then people can just refund themselves and just go back to your original funding addresses. I think this platform is also using some on-chain token as a kind of like a receipt to say you actually did put in money into this campaign. Next one is a DEX called Cauldron. So this is again fully on Bitcoin Cash. Cool. So it's on Bitcoin Cash. It's UTXO based, blah blah. Essentially, right here they have a very very simple swap platform. So here they've got a stable coin called MUSD. You can actually stake and lock some of the coins up for providing liquidity. But again, no EVM, none of that kind of stuff. Very very lightweight. And the really nice thing is that it's just basically a different way, a new way of securing these funds. And leveraging the Bitcoin ecosystem and whatnot, it's very, very cheap to deploy and it's very, very cheap to send. So.
Time. All right. Round of applause for Jerry. All right, Jerry, you got 3 minutes to get roasted like never before. Who wants to do it? I know some of you really, really want to do it. Any questions? Antoine, do you have any questions for Jerry?
Don't you want smart contracts?
Which one?
Yeah, the smart contracts are in there. Right? The lock-in mechanism, the covenants, those are the contracts.
Okay, I have a question for you, Jerry. What question are you most afraid of?
But it says different smart contracts.
Yeah.
Oh, the Ethereum smart contracts. Yeah, it's a little bit different than Ethereum smart contracts. Okay. They're just different contracts.
What do you feel like would be the top questions for you to answer right now based on this presentation? That you're like, I hope no one asks me anything like that.
I don't know. Does anyone else have any questions? I feel like I might have just roasted this room with all this content. No one has anything to say.
Well, if anyone doesn't have any questions, that's totally fair. Let's give a round of applause to Jerry. Good job, bro. Good job. I actually have no idea if I'm doing something or we have a break right now. Oh, it's me. Okay. So actually, I'm not a part of this whole program because I'm not smart like you guys. So I just plugged myself in shamelessly just because I can. And I've already probably DM'd you before about this, but Toronto DAO right now is starting to organize people in order to create, let me stand in front of the camera, the Toronto Special Economic Zone. So special economic zones has always been around. There's one in United Arab Emirates, there's one in Singapore, there's even in my home country, Kazakhstan, they just established a special economic zone. What is, in a nutshell, what it is just like a physical territory that has a little bit of a different, I would say, legislature for any sort of taxes or tax breaks, or any sort of other incentives for foreign companies or local talent to kind of like do their work and get help, right? So that's basically what the Special Economic Zone is. And so for Toronto Economic Zone, and right now it's like a lot of talk right now is about crypto and stuff, a lot of crypto people trying to create their own thing. But we're not really going at this from the position of blockchain and sovereignty and all of that, because we know where we are. We are realists at this point. We're in Canada.
And it's not like we're going to carve out ourselves a little plot of land and we're going to be governing there like no, there's no tomorrow. No, of course not. So what we're trying to do is basically, I'm going to move to this, is rally some people around right now. We have 113 signatures in our petition to start a conversation of how exactly would special economic zone in Toronto look like. We have some ideas, we've drafted some ideas internally, and we will be releasing them soon as sort of like a, hey, here's what we came up with. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it. And right now we have 113 signatures for Toronto Special Economic Zone, but we're planning to get to 1,000 signatures. Why are we creating this petition? Because it's not, we don't want to be just some folks who's like, oh, we have this crazy, stupid idea, let's try to make it happen. We want to make sure that we represent the people. And we want to make sure that we have the people's approval behind us when we will approach big businesses, big corporations, big governments, the city council, the mayor, the governor, the premier, and all of that. So for us, it's very important that you show your voice. And that's why I am imploring you to start spreading the word around, spreading this hashtag, this QR code, and most importantly, sign yourself this petition to create the Toronto Special Economic Zone. Long story short, TLDR, we have this crazy idea. We want to make it happen, but we want to make it happen in a smart way where we respect people's opinion, where we want to make sure we have the weight of people's approval before we present it to the big decision makers in the country. Because again, we're in Canada, we're trying to go by the book, we're trying to be conservative, but at the same time, we do want changes because people want changes, because people want to have more opportunities and more jobs. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. That's pretty much it. In the spirit of fairness, I'll answer any questions, but my overall answer will be, we'll see about that. But go ahead. Anyone have a question? Yes?
You get lots of signatures in your petition, you got a discussion going. What's the immediate goal so we can like aim for that?
I think the immediate goal right now is just network solutions, so the network effect. What I'm trying to get right now as a PR guy myself and the lead organizer for Toronto DAO, I'm trying to get people to say Toronto Special Economic Zone more often and to make sure that they are trying to imagine in their heads, wow, it's actually something that in theory can work. And so what we're trying to create right now, after we create like enough signatures, some sort of a roadmap, which is a draft, like a roadmap solution, like, okay, I kind of see this happening. I kind of see how this can work. I kind of see this as a good idea. And maybe, because we are in touch with lawyers right now as well, I had a good consultation with a lawyer about this whole thing before we started, and they all like that. And Toronto already has special economic zone legislature. Like, we already have all of that. It's just a matter of someone needs to get there, and just grab it, you know what I mean? And that's what we're doing. We're grabbing this, and we're trying to, the bull by the horn, and we're trying to do something and steer it in the right direction. But super vague, I understand, but legit, we just started 2 weeks ago, so we're trying to get this pumping. Yeah, Lennon.
So I preached about it, I signed it, I love it. Can you say more about, like, what are some of the policy points? Like, I know I kind of asked about it, or like at least the policy process you guys are looking at doing to be like, hey, we want, this is what we want this to look like, whether it's like UAE or whether it's Hong Kong.
Yeah, so, and again, I've talked, I've sent some of the notes within the team, but a lot of it will be with time breaks, just like in a nutshell. A lot of it will be how can we make sure that housing is affordable, but in my opinion, most important, how can we get American VCs not to get scared of investing in Toronto? And how I see the special economic zone is sort of like a little pocket, a love pocket, if you want to, call it like that, where VCs can finally go into Canada and not be scared of like staying there because those liability. When I talk to VCs, like, where are you headquartered? Oh, in Canada? No, fuck that. So when we try, that's what I'm hearing is like, oh, you're in Canada? No, we're dealing only with like Delaware based and all that stuff. But that's where we're trying to at least propose a system where VCs can incorporate have the company incorporated in this economic zone, but at the same time they can invest in it. But it's very easy for them to leave if they want to. At the same time, they are getting the benefits that they wouldn't get benefits outside of the special economic zone. American investment matters, and I'm being real about that, but I hope a lot of you all being real about that as well. And so what we're trying to attract is investments into our beautiful country, and at this point, that's one of the solutions that we think about.
Do you think that the policy push ends up being provincial and federal? Because the province manages securities and investments.
To be determined. To be determined. Those are the details that I'm not in a position to talk about right now.
Do you like? I'm assuming I'm a Toronto DAO member. I know I fill out a sheet, but I know I only pop up every once in a while. Like, how can I get involved in the process and kind of help? You know, or how can someone get involved and be like, hey, like, look at this?
You can definitely spread the word around and get as many signatures as possible. At this point, it's super early, and right now we need all hands on deck to just get to that 1,000. It's a magical number or whatever, but it doesn't matter. We have leverage with a number like this when we talk to different representatives, when we talk to businesses, when we talk to, I don't know, our parents. You know, like, what are we doing? Well, we're trying to organize people. We have 1,000 behind us. I guess that's all my time right now. Unless you guys have more questions. Let's see. Yeah, it's Fred.
There we go.
I think you have 3 slides.
Well, it's really only one. Anyways. Hello everyone. I'm Taylor Cox, the founder and CEO, CTO, everything guy for Loyalteez. We're rebranding from Alpha 4, so this is kind of limited right now. What we're doing, we are a B2B loyalty platform. We are basically a loyalty currency substrate. We're not a questing platform like was previously mentioned, but we are a basically an open loop loyalty system, which is fundamentally different than all of these closed loop or silos or even ecosystem enabled loyalty programs that exist. So essentially, this is how it works very, very plainly. Brands will add or buy directly from us, revenue source, our LTZ token, which is ERC20 standard with a bit of modifications. And they will have that ability to then distribute it through the means in which they're already engaging their users. Sign up for a newsletter, here's a couple tokens, fill out a customer survey, buy something from us, here's some tokens, this way. Better? Yeah. Okay. So what you can do is take your existing platform, add in our domain, our kind of like how you add Google Analytics to something. And then our backend will pick up all of your events that already exist. And now you're able to immediately start rewarding people with on-chain currency. And this is coming from your acquisition and retention cost, right? From that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your tokens, take these tokens that people are offering, and what you're going to do is you're going to piggyback those into perks. People are going to come to the perk market, which every single brand can all join into. Even brands that aren't even offering perks can come in and say, hey, you know what? If you have LTZ tokens, come, you can get this coupon, you can get this benefit from me, you can get whatever. Anybody can add to this store. You will burn LTZ points, and you will get that perk back in return, all on chain and all delivered through an email-based wallet. So you never need to actually interact with the chain, and you never need to manage any Web3 oriented aspects from the brand perspective or from the user perspective. You distribute LTZ however you want. Newsletter, survey, store, etc. Sky's the limit for what distribution means. All you have to do is buy the points, and then the distribution is automated through your setup that way. Any questions?
Well, first of all, round of applause to Taylor. Okay, now let's ask him really hard questions.
Oh.
Let's make him suffer. Let's make sure he's like going through this floor right now because of how tough your questions are. Let's go. We have 3 minutes. Maybe it was like a too much.
Oh, I'm suffering that now. These guys can see it. No.
Maybe, okay, if you have like a not as tough question, you can also ask.
Go ahead. Yeah, what's up?
Why Soneium and not my face?
Oh, cool. Yeah, so they're very similar. Sony, for those who don't know, Soneium is Sony's, Sony. They're L2. And we were fortunate enough to interact with their business development pretty early. They saw a lot of synergy capable with us, and we, as a B2B, saw Sony's huge, massive, basically wider ecosystem, which Soneium would be a great bridge to, and said, you know what? You guys engaged us. We're really interested in you. Let's run with that. So, as base would be a great opportunity as well, and just the biz dev opportunities that Soneium went with us, very compelling to us, and we're happy to work with them. So, nothing overly special. Just hey, you baited us first, I guess. Good question. Yes.
which brands are available right now? For example, as me as a user, what products I can go and give it a try right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're so new, we don't even have anything yet. So we're just starting that kind of grassroots reaching out. One good thing about the Soneium thing is warm interest to everybody that they're interacting with, which is a big boost. And I'm sure other chains, other ecosystems do that too. Previously, we were working with somebody else, and they didn't have that kind of avenue or those kind of connections, which was really disappointing to us because as a budding builder, I want to be connected with builders just like you guys, right? I want to be able to access you. And cold DMs, I don't answer any of those. So I know most of those other people aren't either. You get hundreds of them a day. You're like, this is not real. So you fall through the cracks. So with that kind of warm intro, that's how we envision kickstarting our loyalty ecosystem, and then kind of hopefully kind of snowballing from there. Because as an open loop, it is a snowball effect.
I hear one more question. Anyone?
Oh,
we have one.
Oh,
yep.
Oh. So
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, sorry. So this question, like, do you have a bit, like, background in loyalty? Like, how did you come about this idea?
So I have a background in tech-related stuff. I don't have an explicit background in loyalty, but when I saw the fragmentation, I don't.
That just sounds weird.
Yeah, right? So when I saw the fragmentation across all of these loyalty things, everybody and their mom with a Web3 platform has some kind of loyalty system that they're coming up. Here's rewards here, here's rewards here. Why can't I do anything with them? They're all on chain, make them all the same, and give them to everybody and let them go anywhere. Why not? Is basically where that came from. So you see Galaxy being farmed, that was something that came up earlier, right? Now, if everybody's farming everything for those airdrops, why not make it an explicit currency and then have that currency be more meaningful for people in an unfarmable way? That way, all of these brands actually get more benefit out of each individual quest they offer, which improves their customer acquisition cost and their retention spending budget.
Okay, last question from Husnain. If you still want to ask your question.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are people able to redeem these points for?
That's good. So the perks, anything you want. As a brand, you might offer, as a DEX, you might say, redeem 10,000 points, and then for your next $1,000 you're spending or whatever, you get some kind of benefit. So that's the benefit on the brand side, is you can set up whatever you want as your loyalty system. You say, you give me this amount of points, I'll give you this. That's fine. And that's engaging all of the community, all the users in the ecosystem to say, hey, you know what, that sounds really cool. If I'm going to be DEX trading anyways, why don't I come here and get that rebate? Now I can get back into this, right? So you as a user are basically loyalty shopping around instead of, well, I have these points here and now they don't really do anything with me. So that sucks. The loyalty market, $300 billion a year gets invested into loyalty systems. Only $20 billion a year gets converted, which means there's a lot of people out there that just say, I have all these point systems and I don't care about these points. So the idea here is to make people care more about their points, make them more meaningful, make them more impactful.
Fantastic. Round of applause for Taylor. That was a good presentation. All right. Let's move on. Who have we here on the list? Let's see. All right, Morogoro with core.fun. Where are you guys? All right, round of applause for our guy. 5 minutes.
Hi, I'm Morogoro. I'm with core.fun. It's a project for the Solana Coliseum Hackathon going on right now. So it's a dispute resolution protocol on Solana. So let's start. Web3 has a governance account. I made my slides marked down on HackNT for all developers, I guess. Blockchains have digital sovereignty. Nation states can't control or censor blockchains, but blockchains also lack protection for users. Code's law works for smart contracts, but it's not sufficient for all human use cases. So my product, Core.fun, Solana-based launchpad for dispute resolution organizations, and there's two sides of this marketplace or the product. So there's the juror mechanism where dispute resolution organization members can stake blue chip tokens, providing economic justice to be elected as jurors in arbitrable disputes. And then there's the arbitration mechanism to be implemented by protocols. And they compose court.fun dispute resolution organizations by implementing that arbitration interface to trigger disputes. And a quick lesson on game theory, how this all works. So there's this idea of a shelling point where people tend to choose by default in the absence of communication an outcome in order to avoid communication failure. So the canonical example is, say you're in New York City, you need to meet someone, you go to Grand Central Station at the information booth at noon because you don't have any other options. So how this court.fun works, so first a trigger is disputed, dispute is triggered. There's two interfaces. So this project is based on Claros on Ethereum. So there's two ERC standards. So ERC 792 is the arbitration standard, and the second one is the evidence standard. So there's just interfaces, and also I imagine it's going to be cross program invocation. You just add it as an interface. Jurors are elected, and the probability of being selected as a juror is based on how much blue chip tokens you staked with the dispute resolution organization. Jurors vote. They review the evidence and choose outcomes defined by the arbitration parameters and how disputes are resolved. Outcomes are enforced by smart contract execution. The dishonest minority with the stake in arbitration fees to the honest majority. And you might be wondering, what if there's an honest minority and then there's exponential appeals, and you could appeal all the way up to essentially the court hierarchy to a Supreme Court. So this is my fun plot twist, network state plot twist on Claros. So state.fun. So state.fun empowers network states to build sovereignty by composing these dispute resolution organizations into a court hierarchy. And then there's the role of the network state founder, and he's the one making partnerships with these protocols to use these dispute resolution organizations for arbitration. And then I suppose the broader impact is maybe we're all, like, as Web3 people, libertarian leaning, but there's also spaces for other moral frameworks, or so I just listed some randomly, or anarcho-syndicalist, or non-usury finance, so that's no interest, so like Islamic finance, I've heard that. And then why this matters, so this gives the legitimacy to network states by the factor
1 minute.
By the factor of liquidity in each smart contract that appoints this network state as an arbitrator. So my current progress, I'm working on the Cypherpunk hackathon on Solana. I've been working on this for 2 months, onboarding into Solana. Solana is interesting because their programming model is kind of like, you see to unlearn what you know on Ethereum. Well, I'm actually a Cosmos developer, so if you think of like on Cosmos, it'd be like a state machine of like key value pairs, and which all gets like aggregated into like a Merkle proof, or the hash on Solana is all account based. Yeah, and that's just my MVP, how I plan to implement it for the hackathon. And yeah.
All right, a round of applause. I mean, we have 3 minutes. Let's actually ask some genuine questions, because I really like the network state stuff. I'm hoping someone else can about that. But 3 minutes for questions. First question.
What kind of disputes can be resolved using the court document?
Essentially, like, Anything that could be implemented by a smart contract, so that's what's enforceable. And you also got to think of what evidence base of disputes you want to cover. So also like what you fit on the blockchain or on like IPFS, and the canonical dispute that Claros provides is a freelancing platform where Alice hires Bob to make a website, and Alice is unhappy with Bob's work. So there's 3 outcomes for the jurors to vote on: is refund Alice, give Bob more time, or give Bob the funds from escrow. So there's a whole list of services. So it's like arbitration as a service or truth as a service. So you could do escrow, curated lists, content moderation.
I'd like to add, like you made me. This might be left field, but like I've been thinking about your presentation yesterday as well. But you could also resolve in a decentralized way prediction markets.
Yes.
When, hey, who won this thing? Then this mechanism comes into in a decentralized way. Say who the winner is.
Yeah, there was an example on Polymarket where the market was, would Zelensky wear a suit by July? And then there was this dispute, and then it was handled on UMA, but then there was some controversy on how it happened. So that, yeah, it's an interesting case study of this.
Okay, we have maybe 1-2 questions.
Yeah, can you guarantee like fairness or reasonable judgment? Can you guarantee that or not?
I don't think you can necessarily guarantee fairness, but say you have like a dispute resolution organization that has a moral crisis. In Claro's cases, they would say like fork their Pinkerton token, but in my case, well, I don't have a token, like I'm a launchpad. So like your dispute resolution organization is responsible for your precedents. So if you do a bad job, then there's another dispute resolution organization to take over.
All right, thank you so much. Applause for All right, let's see who else we have here. Dawal with HeyElsa.ai. All right, sir. Microphone, the clicker, and your video is there as well.
Okay,
on
thank
the
you.
next slide, I believe.
Hi everyone. I'm Dhaval and the founder at Elsa. We created Elsa last year. After realizing some of the challenges that we faced with our previous startup. Prior to Elsa, I co-founded another Web3 company called Frontier Wallet. Frontier Wallet essentially simplified DeFi across 70 different chains, but still we used to receive tons of complaints with regards to the funds getting stuck and not having clarity all across. DeFi since Frontier Wallet has only gotten more complicated. There are innumerable number of dApps, several wallets, not to mention about chains as well as tokens. So if one has to get started with crypto, it's a fairly daunting journey. Essentially, when you realize that your funds are lying on one chain, you need the gas token on the destination chain and so on. So the inspiration behind Elsa was that what if we can abstract away all of these complexities that one has to necessarily go through and have a very simple natural language interface that can process user intents. Thanks to OpenAI, we were able to sort of see a future where something like this can be enabled. Starting off, say in January, we now support 8 chains. Elsa is a live dApp. Currently, we are seeing 8 to 10,000 daily active users. Commonly, people use it for stake, swap, lend, borrow, bridge. We've brought up some interesting use cases that you'll quickly see with this.
Press down.
So here, Elsa is bridging 7 USDC on Base to Graph token on Arbitrum. Okay, all it does is one simple click and that's how you sort of proceed with it. In this, the user is creating a Zora token and the token will be deployed using both IPFS on Zora chain. Users often ask about creating diversified portfolios. Okay, so Elsa sort of does that as well, gives you a segregated list. At every single point of time, it shows you a preview of the transaction so that the user is in control at all times. Also, this is about limit orders. A user is trying to buy, let's say, Aero token, when it drops by 10%. So it sets a limit order on chain, something that not many have seen so far. Signed off using MetaMask. Let's say you want to rage quit from all the meme coins, swap them to stable. You can pretty much do that. Okay, converts all of your dust tokens, meme tokens back into USDC. Also allows for like multiple staking options. So let's say if you want to stake USDC on Base, drop token on Arbitrum, stake some of those tokens on Solana. Okay, it finds like the most optimal yield across 300 different protocols. It gives you one simple staking and unstaking interface. Show trading pairs on Avantis. Avantis is a perp desk on Base. You can see all the trading pairs where the users trading silver, going long on silver for like $10. You can choose the amount of leverage you want, set the stop loss levels as well. So it has like inbuilt guardrails so that if you're new to DeFi and you don't end up making a mistake where you rage quit. And yeah, that's pretty much all the things that you can try on ELSA. We're now building an open agent platform that would allow like any of the devs to deploy their agents onto ELSA. And ELSA sort of helps them monetize and distribute the app to like our users and get started thereon. Happy to answer any questions.
Wow, ahead of schedule. Thank you so much. Applause for Noah, everybody. That was great. We have a question here.
Under the hood, you're implementing MCP servers, and then you're also using, like you said, OpenAI, I'm guessing 4.5.
Yeah, so OpenAI is used, used for like say intent orchestration, and it also facilitates on-chain tool calling. Under the hood, we have more than 65 different APIs that it connects to. Some of them MCPs as well. Haven't had much luck with actual MCPs that work. So we're back to using CoinGecko, Chainlink, Ethereum, and so on.
Okay, my question regarding that, like, how are you handling or tackling the hallucination problem? And also, when you're using any MCPs, the security as the data leave your server, right?
So hallucination has been a recurring problem. When we started off, we were only able to fulfill 18% of intents. That's because a lot of the tokens that users are like trying to swap into, may not be recognized. So what we started off by doing is building a token database, as well as like fine-tuning the model. So we launched a private beta only for like 40 users in September last year, and since then we have been fine-tuning based on the inputs, outputs, as well as the solvers that ELSA was sort of leaning towards. So we have like 16 solvers that are like competing for business under the hood. Whatever is the most efficient solver, the transaction automatically gets routed there.
How quick transactions happen after a user actually put the prompt?
So it usually takes about like 15 to 18 seconds because there are several layers that ELSA is interacting with, and there are like inherent latency within that as well. But what we've done is our token DB allows for like say the most popular 600 tokens that are like always traded. Okay, they sort of have the token database. Those tokens are like cached. Okay, allowing for like quicker response times.
Fantastic. Another question?
Quick question from a dev point of view and from a user just using this like naked. What's the pricing structure?
What's the price?
Like what do you charge users for using this? And what do you charge? What's a normal or typical business arrangement look like between the developer and ELSA?
So there is a fee that's between like say 2 basis points to 0.39% or 39 basis points. So depending on how much you trade, the more you trade, the less you pay in percent. And then there are like 7 different tiers. Okay, so we'll also enable like say staking for like say fee discounts. And also it allows you to farm like say several different protocols that you want to go after without actually learning those blockchain interfaces as well.
So like a percentage of the yield as well, it sounds like?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when it comes to yield, it is just like the transaction fee that's initially charged, but the yield is still like pretty much intact.
So it's not like if I come into Elsa with my wallet, I can start using it right away. I don't need to pay for Elsa just like I pay OpenAI.
Oh, no, you don't. And you can also use for like researching tokens. So let's say if the intent is that create a portfolio of RWA tokens ranked by market cap, US $300. It'll split $60 into each of those 5 tokens, and it'll show you a confirmation screen. Once you hit confirm, boom, that's all that it does. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have time, unfortunately. Dawal, round of applause for you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
And
Also,
please-
we're hiring. Okay, so in case any devs want to reach out, feel free.
Approach him today. I mean,
Yes.
you have the smartest folks in Toronto right here. So, I mean, we've been selecting them for about. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have a next presentation here, and it's going to be, I believe, our final presentation. Let's see. Yes, it's KJ with Zentra. KJ, here? Yep. Round of applause for KJ, everybody.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Today we have a chance to help Ethereum ecosystem because we want to do something like the first world computer with upgradable CPU. This will be a little friendly to all the people here, technical people here. But if you are still confusing, we're building the Windows for the blockchain, the operating system. Okay. Look at this. This is something I'm very familiar with. I'm very happy with. Just imagine the Bitcoins like all the oldest PCs, right? Ethereum 286, and now our current we are using their tools and centralized their ones. It's so sad today. After 20 years, everything becomes centralized. And to make a U-turn, let's use Zentra as an opportunity to go back to or suppress the Bitcoin's decentralization. That's the big map. Okay, so. How do we do that? First is our today's product Zentra, and second one we are going to go beyond the decentralized Bitcoin with useful pure data. Okay, so we are coming from the theory. So for me, I'm a PhD in blockchain, in crypto and blockchain. So we have this minor theory, and it's here in Stanford. I presented the minor theory. Also, I have my PhD thesis. That's something else about the first useful POW. Okay, let's imagine about the older PC, family C, FC, and family computer, right? So basically, it's just like a very traditional way, like an application programming directly to the hardware, right? The application, the hardware. Like today, Uniswap is programming to EVM, and the Pump.fun is programming to Solana. So let's look at the history to predict the features. So someday in this world, it's not a long history, there will be something happened, like an operating system, like a DOS, like Windows, right? Something will happen. Sure, for sure. Just look at the history. So what Zentra is doing, we're trying to create an ecosystem. You see, Ethereum's ecosystem, each layer 2 has their own ecosystem, but they are detached with their chain, right? Ecosystem is detached with chain. Ecosystem cannot move from chain to another chain. But a third-party ecosystem, Zentra, can do this. We are starting from the base layer 2. It provides 500 TPS space. Then Monad, as they said, they provide 10,000 TPS. So at certain days, we just move the Zentra, the ecosystem from base to Monad, and in the future, on another blockchain, say we are going to provide a huge TPS. So we move to that chain again. So the user assets will be staying Zentra. That user doesn't have to move their assets through the bridge from this chain to another chain. We get a stable environment, just like we are staying Windows for so many years, right? Okay, how do we do it? The traditional Ethereum node is tied together with their consensus mechanism with execution. They are tightly coupled. But in Zentra's architecture, we create a new word called the syn blockchain. Is that we suggest blockchain should only record the history data, but not do the consensus, not do the execution. So what we are suggesting, in another word, we are suggesting the EVM chains to drop their EVM. bye. No, blockchain should be seen just to become 1 million consensus machine. Okay. So okay, what else can we do? More than just upgrade for this feature, we are using Python on the blockchain. You can do smart contract programming with Python. And we don't have a gas limit. We don't have a gas limit. That means complex application can be programmed on Zentra, but which was impossible to do in the EVM. So okay, that's unlimited execution time. Okay. So also, what makes Zentra more decentralization is another case. We make it the Zentra node can be run on every personal device. That means we have to limit the global, we call it global state size. You know, if you're running a Ethereum node now, you know how much hard drive, how big the spec you need. You have only to rent to the AWS to run the Ethereum node, right? But in Zentra, we try to limit the global size, so every home device can run Zentra. Okay, that's how our decentralized come from. Okay. Yeah. Then the last question: Zentra will have token. What is this token used for? So we are going to use the Zentra token. Each Zentra token will stand for 1 kilobit, 1 KB on-chain space. If you scan the blockchain now, you'll feel a lot of global space are trash tokens, right? People pay Ethereum just zero gas, but they occupy the on-chain space. But once it's not popular again, nobody will touch those again. So that's it. No, Zentra token is valuable, locked. Our stage, our testnet 3 is here. Our mainnet, hopefully we can do in this quarter or maybe next quarter. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Round of applause. Sir, you went over your time, so you're lucky you're the last presentation. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of angry people here. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not going to be the last one.
3 minutes for questions for PJ. First question.
Yeah. Thank you.
Does this type of chain design help you mitigate, say, like the upgrade from quantum resistant signatures? Like, let's say you wanted to increase the key size.
I love the quantum feature. Yeah. Last year I met a guy from PhD who is really doing the quantum physics experiment. The guy PhD, he just graduated, and once he graduates, suddenly he jumped into the crypto space, never touched his quantum experiment again. So I will say, quantum, of course, we have to be quantum resilience. That's good, and but I'm less worried about it. Okay, but I think in this architecture, one day we really have the quantum computer, right? We can soon change the maybe Ethereum wallet address or something, to a quantum resilience algorithm. Yeah.
Right. So, like, for example, you're saying you're decoupling the EVM from the actual block itself. So, for example, if I want to increase like the byte length of addresses or resources that the EVM is using, is that like?
No. We just use the same Ethereum address. All the Ethereum wallet can be used. Yeah.
So it'll still be vulnerable to.
Yeah, ETH RPC, ETH address, we just incur because that's the industry standard. We don't change that part. No, we're not Solana. Okay.
Next question. We have a gentleman over there in the orange shirt.
Okay. So one question: this is an entire new chain, correct?
No, it's very less change. We only change a very small part. We can work with all the existing ETH RPCs. Yeah.
Right, but it's an own separate chain where there is own stakeholders, its own.
No. We are not a chain. So we still use the layer 1 or layer 2. Yeah. They do the concepts. The chain do the concepts, and I do the execution. It's like so the input we construction the state.
So as a wallet user, what do I have to use this technology? Like
you go to the website. That website use Zentra. Then you can use the existing wallet to do some signature. Then everything is fine.
That actually feels. I feel more scared to do that because you just said I go to a website and sign signature, And
Yeah,
it
yeah,
basically
yeah.
means like I
And
know
then you
what
can
something's
see
going
what's
on.
in yours,
It's
what
basically
you are
everything.
signing. It's just a JSON. Very simple. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to Noah, and then we're gonna go to Jerry. Noah, do you have a question?
What's your probability that we're ever going to have quantum compute that can do useful things that's
You are talking about maybe the use for POW?
if we're ever going to have quantum that can do anything but cracking cryptographic.
I mean, ECDSA is not content resilience, but hash is, SHA-2, SHA-3, they are content resilience, Yeah.
Jerry?
I was just wondering, how are you dealing with the order of these transactions coming in?
The transactions go to the blockchain first. We just read the blockchain. We just read the output. Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
for a lot of these chains, before the transactions, sometimes it's like an event pool before it gets processed. So a lot of the time, the EVM, depending on the order you're coming in, sometimes transactions can fail, sometimes they succeed.
We just read the outcome of the blockchain. So the frozen blockchain, the new blocks. So once the transaction go into the new blocks, they are frozen, right?
But nothing before they get into the block.
Of course, we need to wait for the blockchain to be final. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's where most of the execution for a lot of these smart contracts, the DEX and whatnot.
We are doing a bit of asynchronized way. There's a bit of delay, but the trade-off is that we can run very complex applications in the virtual machine. Yeah, that's a trade-off. We lost something, but we got something better. Yeah.
Let's do a couple more questions. I feel like this is an engaging conversation. Now, while you were the first one, then Bora, you're the next one.
Is there like any decentralized compute applications possible? Have you tried anything else there?
We have one example demo. It's like with AM, it's like Ethereum come with trading ability, but only with after AMM algorithm, right? In this architecture, we can run order book on chain. Order book on chain. That's like a lot of comparing, a lot of like complex data structure we need to apply it in that way. In that way, we can run order book. Yeah,
wouldn't you be running the order book? Like order books are already prevalent on so many L1s and L2s, like you mentioned. So order books are already present on chain. So
No. Except the new one called what? Hyperliquid, right? Yeah. Yeah, Hyperliquid. Yeah.
Okay, let's move to Bora.
But that's also not in VM. That's in chain, not in VM.
So what I'm understanding, you're a modular platform where you're separating the consensus and the execution?
Basically, the modular blockchain, they have a full definition, including DA or whatever. We are maybe you think it's like modular, but our definition is different from modular. We are just saying we are same blockchain and the minus team, something like that. It's like we are the same blockchain, only record the history, and another part do the execution. We only have two roles. We are different from the modular blockchain. Yeah.
So who's doing the heavy lifting of like maintaining the state, and who's incentivized for that?
Maintaining the state is in Dentra. Yeah.
The EVM still?
EVM we bypass it. It's still existing, but we don't use it. It's like you can send your transaction to EVM, but you can choose not to send your transaction. But you only send a Zentra transaction, but you still send to base.
All right, folks, this is an engaging conversation. We can continue during the networking section. KJ, thank you so much for your presentation. It was engaging and